Hello and welcome back to Automate with Amit, and in this particular video series where we are creating an advanced level of framework from scratch using Selenium, Cucumber, TestNG and Java. In this particular video we are going to see what is step definitions, why it is required, and what is the connection between feature file and step definitions. So how we are going to create step definitions, all those things we are going to cover in this particular video. And if you haven't gone through my previous videos of this series where I have covered the way I had created or structured this whole Maven project, automation project, so you can go and watch my previous videos. And in previous video I had covered the feature files, how to create feature files, and what are different difference between scenario and scenario outlines, what are different keywords like given, when, then, and background, and of course examples keyword over here. So all those things have been covered in previous video. So if you haven't watched that particular video, you can go and watch that. And let's get it started with this one. Okay, so in here you see I have this step definitions over here and how to create the step definition basically for this. So before going ahead and creating a step definition, let's just sort out our feature file. So over here we have multiple scenarios over here. For now I am just going to remove all of the others and I am just going to keep the first one. Okay, so here if you see, so tag basically we use to group the scenarios. So I am making this as simple, very simple login, maybe. Okay, so maybe login only. Okay, login feature. So I'm just giving the name over here. So this is related to the login feature, this is also related to the login feature. And okay, so with this basically if you see now scenario has these many steps over here. So let me write one very easy step. So for that let's go ahead on irctc.co.in. by the way, this is an Indian train booking website. So here we are going to automate this particular website. So I'm going to go on this website and see what different scenarios we can automate. So I'm just going to take the first one. So the first scenario is user navigates to this particular website. Okay, so I'm just going to go back on this here. So first and foremost step is this here. I'm just going to copy in here in background. For now I'm removing it. So if you haven't watched my previous video where I had explained why do we use background, so you can go and watch my previous video where I had explained feature files. So okay, so fine. So this my scenario basically says that verify that user is able to log in using correct username and password. Okay, so my given basically says that user navigates to IRCTC URL. So what is that URL? Basically I am just gonna give that URL. So what is that URL? Maybe https here www.irctc.co.in. so this is that particular website where we need to go. So basically if you see, this is the website. So let's suppose we wanted to go on this one. So Control C, just I'm coming back. Now I am just pasting in here. So first and foremost step is that you need to go on the website. Okay, once you land on that particular website, then what we need to do is given user navigates to IRCTC URL. Okay, and enters something like enters from basically. So enters in text box, enters Pune. So for Pune it is PNQ is the code. So I have given in from text box. Okay, and enters. Okay, so something like enters maybe NDLS. This is for New Delhi. So in to text box. Okay, so that is fine. So given user navigates to this URL and enters PNQ in from text box and enters NDLS in two text box here, and maybe not and again, but then clicks on search button, right? Okay, so clicks on search button, right? So let's see, then clicks on search button. This is how we write any particular scenario. Okay, so this is and when then, that's how. Okay, this is one scenario. Over here we have written. Now let's go back in feature files. So how to generate this step definitions basically. So I am just going to remove this for now, because we are going to just copy and see how to generate this step definitions. Okay, so I need to just right click and go on run as and cucumber feature. Okay, so as soon as you are going to run this as cucumber feature, it is going to execute your cucumber feature and will generate your step definitions automatically. Okay, so here it has started this console over here. It should run this, so it has started, and eventually it will generate the steps for me. Okay, so now if you just read out this, here we have login feature. Okay, this is the feature name, tag login. This scenario is this one: verify that user is able to log in using correct username and password. Maybe this is not that much good, but given user navigates to IRCTC URL, enters, so all the steps it has written over here. And after that, if you see, this shows that undefined scenarios. So that means this scenario has some undefined steps. So over here, if you see, one scenarios which is undefined, 4 steps are there in total. Okay, 3 skipped, 1 undefined. That means tried to execute first scenario over here, but it did not find out the step definition for that. So that's why we are seeing that it says that all the 3 other steps have been skipped. Okay, now if you see over here, you can implement missing steps with the snippets below. Okay, so it has generated the step definitions over here for me for all the undefined steps. So I'm just going to copy these and I can put in any particular step definition file. So how to create that? So for that, basically we need to go on step definitions. So this is going to be a simple search over here. So I'm just going to click in here and click on the class. Okay, so this class is going to be, I am going to create this as, so that particular page basically was related to the train search page, right? So here if I go in IRCTC again and see, try to see this particular website, this particular page is related to that, I would say, landing page or something like that. So once you log in or once you land up that URL, it shows this page. So maybe we can say this as home page. Okay, so related to home page, there are some conventions. Okay, so how basically we name our step definition files. So since we are going to use this step definitions, we are just going to use the home page step definition. Okay, so maybe that is home page step definitions, home page. So it's just like we are going to use home page step definitions. As soon as we finish, we get this particular page getting created, home step definitions. So and we need to just copy and paste all those values, all those step definitions from there to here. Okay, so now if you see, we have created all these 4 different step definitions, and after that you will see it has this method, and whatever user navigates to IRCTC URL and this string. So we are passing this string value over here, right? So that's how it says that this is string value, it is getting in the step definition. Okay, so now over here again, if I go in here, home page step definition, so this is the first line of code. Okay, so in here basically what it does, so how my steps are getting recognized by this step definition over here. So if you see over here, this @ given, So this under this @given, we are getting this line of step. So the same line which we had used in the feature files, we are getting in here, and by that only my Cucumber feature file steps recognize that it is available in here. Okay, so this is how it recognizes, and in here we just need to just import few things. So just hover upon this given, and it is going to give you or let you import Cucumber here. Okay, so in order to import for this given, you just need to click on this error over here, and it is going to give you some options. So you just have to import this Cucumber IO Java. So this given, and in place of this given, you just put a star, and all of the values, all of the error will go. Okay, so here in place of this given, you just need to put star. Okay, so with this way we have all of this. Now if you see under this, each of the methods, basically it shows that it is pending exception. So I am just removing this, and here, okay, I am just removing this, and if you see over here what it says, write code here that turns the phrase above into concrete actions. So in these methods, basically whatever it is said in this line where we have written in the step files, feature steps basically, so we need to create those actions. So in these methods, basically we need to write that particular code which is going to perform whatever actions we said in here. So if we are saying that user navigates to IRCTC URL in feature file, in this particular step definitions, we are going to write that particular code which is going to literally take us to that particular URL. Okay, so for that we are going to use Selenium, and the way we are going to do it, like we are going to arrange whole of this way of writing code henceforth after this step definition is going to be page object model. Okay, so these two things are related to the Cucumber. Basically there is one or two things related to Cucumber, which is hooks and test runners. Okay, so I'll just try to execute it. So this particular feature file where I had execute, me just right click and now try to run as Cucumber feature. So now I should not be seeing that issue which we were seeing, that that it got skipped or something like that. So let's run let it run this. Okay, so now if you see, this has started generating or executed this particular scenario. So now we are not seeing any skipped or something. It says that one scenario which is passed, four of the scenarios passed, actually 4 of the steps passed. Okay, so now this is the way we write step definitions. Now if you see over here, if I write some code in here, let's suppose some sys out, and we write some code. So this code is going to get executed in this particular step here. Okay, so in here, let's suppose user got navigated to IRCTC URL. Okay, now let's suppose similarly we are going to put some other user entered text in from text box. Okay, something like this. Now again similarly we are going to put in for Control+C, Control+V, from instead of from to text box, enter text in to text box. Okay, now after to text and the last one is user clicked search button. Okay, so clicked search button. Okay, so now let's run our feature file again. Okay, so now let's go and try to run this again. Just right click and run as Cucumber feature. Okay, so it is going to execute all these steps with the step definitions we had written for those steps. Okay, so now you see whatever is the steps over here, you will see user got navigated to IRCTC URL. Then it says that this particular given statement has been completed, and then user entered text in from text box, user entered text in to text box, and user clicked search button. So all of the scenarios, one scenario passed and 4 steps passed. So this is how we write step definitions for any particular feature steps. And this is how step definitions get executed, and how feature files basically identify that each step has step definition mentioned in the step definition. In here we use these values. So so in @given, whatever statement, whatever step we write in the step definition file, in feature file, with this tag basically it finds out that related step definition where it is. So that was all in this particular video related to step definition. In case you have any particular any particular question, any doubt, you can comment in the comment box and I am going to help you out. And this is a video series, so if you haven't watched my previous videos in this current series and you are trying to learn Cucumber BDD framework designing, then you can go and follow my previous videos. It is going to give you a background where we started and now we are starting with the step definitions. And in the next video we are going to talk about runners and hooks in Cucumber. Okay, so that was all in this particular video, and if this particular video was helpful to you, make sure you like the video and hit the subscribe button in order to get more video updates from me on this channel. And if this was helpful, then share with others as well. Thank you, and see you in the next one.